Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we are going to be looking at Katomi's Winter Wyvern. This was a game where my man popped off on the position for Winter Wyvern, picking up first blood, getting level 6, and getting a counter kill on the mid lane with it at minute 8, having core-like farm by the end of the game. I mean, take a look. He ends this match against Team Secret 11-4-11 with a BKB, Ag, Shadowblade, Blink Dagger, bots, and of course a shard. And we're going to talk about how you can play Winter Wyvern at a high level. And the reason really why I want to talk about Wyvern is he fits the meta very well. If you see a lot of these unit hero drafts, Winter Wyvern's good. We see a Chaos Knight this game and a Beastmaster. Naturally, Winter Wyvern is going to have a nice place in this game, and let's take a look at why. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the gameleap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the gameleap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So a lot of you might know this, but a lot of you might not know this. Arctic Burn was increased from an 8-second duration to a 10-second duration. Basically meaning that in the laning stage, you want to abuse the heck out of your Q. You almost always will skill your Q. The only time you don't, even then I don't think this is much of an edge case, but the only time you might not skill your Arctic Burn at level 1 is if you need a range creep secure. But in this lane, they did need a range creep secure, and he didn't skill it anyway. So clearly, Katomi doesn't even necessarily think that you can take your W, and I agree with it for the most part, because as we'll see in this first level 1 trade, Katomi's gonna destroy Ice and Zayak's HP pools. As they trade in the creep wave, look at the health of the Beastmaster. He gets absolutely annihilated. From there on, you gotta keep in mind that Winter Wyvern is one of the worst trading heroes in the game, and so you want to play behind your carry. Don't trade one-on-one with the support, almost ever. Just play chill. Until your Q is back up, your hero can look for the occasional poke auto attack, it can try to secure it, deny, but for the most part you're playing passive, once again until your Q is back up. Once it's back up, basically off cooldown, Katomi will use his Q, and every little thing counts. You'll see that every little thing counts in a moment. If he didn't use his Q right away, he would not have gotten his first blood. So the spamming of the Q is going to enable that in a moment from now. At level 2, Winter Wyvern is actually one of the best kill supports in Dota. With 2 slows, he can nearly drop any hero to close to the lowest movement speed possible, which is 100, right? Well, outside of a few exceptions. And so we're going to see that in a moment, right? He hits level 2, wants to go onto the Beastmaster, going to land to him with another Q, dropping to about half health. And a lot of people don't understand how Wyvern's Q works. When you hit them with Wyvern's Q, you can only apply the health burn, the 6% health burn for 5 seconds, and the movement speed slow. You can only apply that once. A lot of people don't know this. They think every time you hit, it reapplies it. It doesn't. As we'll look at Ice, look, when he hits him again, it doesn't reapply it. It just keeps going. So you hit them once, and so you might be like, oh, then why does he keep hitting him? Well, you're just trying to abuse the bonus attack range, and you want to hit everyone that's in the lane. If there's a dual lane, you should hit everyone in the dual lane. If there's a tri lane, you should hit everyone once. That is how you maximize Winter Wyvern. Now finally, we're going to see our first blood attempt, and to be fair, you gotta give a lot of credit to Pure here. He's got this Chain Lightning ability, which is so stupid actually. 50 mana for 140 damage on a 4-second cooldown. That is a wild ability. That's something. Either way, Katomi with his major level 2 kill spike is now going to go on to Ice, pop a late Q. He was a little bit hesitant to use it. And the main reason why is Wyvern's Q is not that good against low HP targets. However, of course, it's still movement speed slows, and as a result, they're able to pick up first blood with another round of the Q and W. Now, as the lane progresses, Winter Wyvern, he like sort of falls off, or she. Dude, I've had so many videos that are like, Speed, you keep calling Winter Wyvern a he. It's really not, I'm just, I don't know. My bad. All right, so she is looking to pull here, and the hero kind of falls off, right? It kind of falls off. And so what you want to look to do is start to pull, right? As they get really aggressive, the lane's going to push in, right? When you spam W for aggression, it's going to shove the wave. After you shove the wave into their tower, that's when you can look to pull. However, if the creep wave is here, I generally recommend you keep playing the lane, you keep shoving it in until your carry's in a much safer position. But as we're going to see, he's going to go onto Zayax here. They're going to pick up another double kill. And let's take a look at the way they do this. So, basically, same as always, you're just going to look to use your W on the range creep. Generally, using your W on the range creep is your best bet to hit the position 4 and the offlaner. Obviously, there's some exceptions to this. For instance, in this clip, that wasn't even an option, so he instead uses it on this melee creep, but they pick up another kill. A really nice bait from Pure as well. After that, he's able to get a stack pull off, and keep in mind of his items. Up till now, he has bought 3 clarities, and he has a mango, and he has a wand, and he's buying Null Talisman. You need to spam mana regen on Wyvern. Your hero is very bad at one-on-one trading, right? Very bad at one-on-one trading. And so it is brutally important, crucial, that you spam mana, otherwise your hero will feel underwhelming in the lane, and you won't be able to help your safe laner or off laner. And now, because of his incredible laning stage, we're going to see Katomi hit level 6, minute 8, which is a crazy timing. But he goes mid, he reads the movements from Secret. Crazy, man. He reads the movement from Secret and has level 6 at minute 8. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better play. You couldn't ask for more of a heads-up play and just a dominant game for your Winter Wyvern. And as a result, he's able to save his Dream-Coiled Ember Spirit, finds the curse on the Zayak, and is able to kill him off, right? Just so much damage from all 3 of these heroes. As well, the W, unfortunately, didn't have enough mana. Otherwise, I think he would have been able to pick up a kill on the Puppy as well. So just, once again, just another incredible display of gameplay from Katomi. From there, generally what you want to do as Winter Wyvern is dead lane. We'll see 10 minutes into the game, he's going to be sitting bottom. And basically every game you play Winter Wyvern, here's what you want to do. And this is very important. Don't use your TP. Don't TP. Do not. If you TP to the side lanes, you cannot farm. It's this simple, okay? If you TP, this is a big learning lesson for you all. You can't farm. You have to keep your TP up if you're going to dead lane. Winter Wyvern is generally, he can set up fights, but he's generally a counter initiator, okay? So when you do that, if you don't have TP, you can't defend your towers. Now, Winter Wyvern is one of the best tower defending heroes in the game. He has an ability that can set up for TPs, right? So let's say they wanted to kill the Beastmaster. He could curse, it lasts for 4.5 seconds. That's long enough for TPs to come in. You can D-push the waves, and if you get dove, you can fly away. So basically, you're the best dead lane hero in Dota, or one of the best dead lane heroes in Dota. So what should you do? Dead lane. Play the dead lane, get the farm. As we'll see here, the Beastmaster, Ice is smart enough to kick him out, because basically if you let the Wyvern play like this, the Wyvern is going to own you. So he's going to buy as much time as he can, right? I love his item build. He's got the wand, got the Fairy Fire, and because of the amount of time that he buys, he's able to get a really nice curse onto the puck. Unfortunately, he didn't get his W off, otherwise this puck would have died really, really quickly. But either way, it's able to do like half of the health of the puck. On top of that, the puck wasn't able to disengage nearly as fast as he would have wanted to, and they're able to pick up a return kill onto the mid laner. And yeah, just a really nice play from Entity. They clearly understand how you can abuse dives as well. And this is the thing about this Winter Wyvern gameplay, something that I even have learned from this replay that I might incorporate into my team, which is just baiting these dead lane heroes. Because if you dive a tower, you're putting yourself into a very vulnerable position, and Secret did that, and they got punished. Now, as the game progresses, you're not going to believe it, but he's going to dead lane. And I just want to stress how much of an emphasis Katomi actually puts on this. Because in a moment, I was like, I don't know, I was laughing when I first saw this. I was like, what? He really wants to farm this much? So you can see he's like looking to defend mid. Right? He understands that, of course, like, you know, with your W, you can defend the mid tower. They end up letting it go down. Clearly, they don't value it that much. But in a moment here, he's going to run back bottom. After the CK illusions push it in, he's going to run back bottom, and a team fight breaks out, and it's like, okay, usually you would expect him to TP. Now, there's nowhere to TP to, so, like, to be fair, him TPing would absolutely be a mistake. There's just no way he would get here. It's just a mistake from his team. But he's just like, yeah, what can you do? And just farms the bot lane with his treads. And you might be like, why treads? Basically, it's so you can apply your Arctic Burn to heroes faster. Also, being able to click people is very nice. So he does end up getting tipped there. It's not really his fault, you know, like, it's one of those plays where, especially in pubs, you're gonna, like, hear from Speed Dota that you should dead lane. You're gonna go dead lane, your team's gonna, like, wildly overextend, and then you're gonna get tipped by, like, your team, and someone's gonna tell you that, like, you're horrible at the game. And obviously, like, I want you guys to keep in mind when it comes to your pubs, you have to understand that you can carry the game as Wyvern if you get good levels, right? So that's why people are like, oh my god, but I gotta enable my teammates. It's like, enable yourself. You scale, enable yourself, and on top of that, if you do what I said about not TPing, very often you're going to be able to just join engagements later on into the engagement, and that's fine, right? That's huge. You're still going to be able to have a crazy amount of impact and just play that way. It works. Also, keep in mind he has raindrops and a null. You need the mana regen. All right, upcoming here, we're going to see their first major teamfight win. And this is why you generally want to get a Blink Dagger on Winter Wyvern. Essentially, this build is going to let you do a lot of damage from the outside with your Q. Also, keep in mind he took the 35 damage talent, so clearly doubling down on this treads. But he's able to get a really nice curse. And of course, when you play Winter Wyvern, you want to look for these type of situations. The unit heroes are obviously your best bet. And as we'll see in a moment, he's unfortunately going to get cookied in on the CK, and we'll see a really nice initiation or counter initiation from the Winter Wyvern, and it nearly kills off the CK. He just barely lives from this. It was actually crazy that he lived from that, but he barely lives from it, and you can see the power of Winter Wyvern. Honestly, it's a very simple concept in a game like this. It's not easy execution because this hero can grief like really, really hard, and I'll kind of get into that. Also, like, I'll just cover that now, actually. So, like, you need to look at this, right? When you're cursing, you need to make sure you don't have like a hard stun. So basically, the biggest mistake you can generally make with Winter's Curse is cursing right before another major hard stun, right? And that's how you should look at it. So you should be very aware, or like intuitively aware, of your other hard disables. What would that be this game? Well, Hookshot and Black Hole primarily. Maybe the War Stomp from the Doom, right? And so that's what he needs to watch out for. Now here, none of those are in position. Like, this Hookshot cannot hit through the illusions. There's no angle, right? His other heroes are not in position, so it's a good curse. It's a curse that has illusions, it has units. It's going to buy time for his team to set up, and it's not going to stack with stuns. So this is a great curse, right? This checks the boxes. A lot of players would hesitate. They'd be like, I don't want to initiate. It might not kill him, right? Like, you don't know what to do. And so if your team, for instance, let's say the Clockwork went in here, right? If the Clockwork went in first here, he could hold the curse. He could wait in the back line, throw out a Q, maybe hit his W, hit with a Q, kind of chill a little bit. But that's not the case here. He wanted to initiate, he had a Blink Dagger, and that's going to set up for a really nice team fight. Baits in the puck gets doomed, they kill off the puck. Following that, they're able to chase, and because the Black Hole didn't have to be used earlier, it's used now, and they pick up a really nice 2-man Black Hole and secure the teamfight win. Next up, we're going to see him pick up the Shard on Wyvern. If you don't know what it does, it lowers the cooldown of Cold Embrace, and basically when Cold Embrace ends, it fires out a Splinter Blast. The main use of this Shard is, number one, the fact that it lets you have more Cold Embraces, but most importantly, it lets you one-shot creep waves. And that's really, really the main thing that this Shard is purchased for, the ability to one-shot creep waves. And Winter Wyvern is one of the best split pushing and tower defending, and basically killing creep waves enables you to gain map control and farm. Wyvern is really good at it. He's broken at it when he has his Shard. So now let's quickly talk about a later game timing. First of all, let's go over the talents really quickly. At level 10, if you're going to go this right-click based build, keep in mind at this point in the game, he's got a Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade, and now an Ags, which we'll get into, and he takes a Splinter Blast radius. Now, you might be like, why take that? It's basically because it enables your Shard to be a little bit better. It also is very impressive how big the radius is when you increase it by 400. When you toss it on a melee creep in a team fight, it hits like everybody. It's crazy. But either way, he's got his Ags now. Well, actually, in terms of level 20, honestly, I think it depends. The Arctic Burn slow when you have Ags is good, but it's already such a massive slow that you kind of don't need it. So the Splinter Blast damage, especially with the other talent, is often better. At level 25, you usually take Splinter Blast Stun. It's a really nice talent to have. All right, let's get into this team fight. So first of all, let's talk about Ags. Basically, it gives you bonus movement speed. You have unlimited Q, but it costs mana per second. It's very little mana per second, so it's pretty easily sustained. Basically, what you need to keep in mind is the big change here is that every single time you attack, it reapplies the Arctic Burn. You know how I said early into the video, when you attack with Arctic Burn, it doesn't reapply. It does with Ags. So basically, it's very, very good against these tanky heroes that your team is having a hard time killing, because you constantly are reapplying a 9% health burn. That's insane, right? 9% of their health. In this team fight here, we're going to see a really nice jump onto Crystallis's CK. Unfortunately, the really nice Shallow Grave ends up saving him, but only momentarily. And now you'll see, I really want you guys to look at this. He's going to apply his Arctic Burn to as many heroes as possible, right? Curse, he's going to hit the CK. Clearly, his first priority was to finish off the CK. So, of course, if you can burst a key core in the late game, you can prioritize that. From there, once the Curse comes out, he hits the Beastmaster. He's going to reapply onto the CK, hits the Snapfire, and then after that, he's going to hit the Dazzle, applying a 9% Arctic Burn to every single hero. And look at Dazzle's HP, right? This Dazzle is going to take a huge amount of damage just from one hit from the Q, right? Because it's this constant tick. He's taken almost 500 damage from one auto attack. And then you can see when he gets hit again, it reapplies. This Dazzle has taken nearly half of his health just from Winter Wyvern. So that's what Wyvern does in the late game. He's one of the highest damage supports in late game teamfights, especially if you manage to scale with your shard. Next, let's briefly talk about Cold Embrace. So how do you use Cold Embrace without griefing? Honestly, the main suggestion I would give, like 9 times out of 10, you should Cold Embrace when someone gets stunned. Outside of that, there are niche situations where your teammate has like every ability on cooldown and you can heal them outside of it, but that requires a lot of awareness. So if you're just starting out on Wyvern, 9 times out of 10, I'd recommend just using your E only if they get stunned. For instance, Wyvern is such a good counter to Beastmaster because it's brutally clear when you heal someone. It's like, oh, my Enigma got Primal Roar. Okay, maybe I should heal him. There you go. He gets Primal Roar, gets the heal off. That's obviously really nice. It doesn't allow Toby to disengage, but it does force the puck to recommit, which is nice. It essentially buys time. It's not guaranteed to save them, but that's the point. Use it on the stuns. Hopefully I've made it much more clear when to ulti and when to E. Generally, obviously there's always edge cases, but for the most part, this is what you should be looking for. All right, and as we get into the last team fight in the game, I just want to show the discipline from Katomi here to not waste his ulti, right? He has a lot of discipline in this team fight, and I think that's important, right? Goes in, nice heal onto the Clockwork. Honestly, I generally don't recommend saving supports if they're like a low value support, so I sort of disagree with this heal sometimes, only because it is 50 minutes into the game, so his clock is gonna have oh wait, no. Damn, this guy is so poor. Oh my god. That's crazy. That is crazy. I think Katomi's a very greedy player, so Fishman just kind of takes the cuck role, which is fine. It's honestly good to have that dichotomy of your support players. But either way, we're gonna see a nice black hole, no curse, right? And the reason why is these heroes are stuck. You don't need to curse them. It's not setting up for anything. There's no follow-up damage, a lot of discipline. Even here, I was a little bit surprised to see him kind of fly into a position where they could maybe jump him, from here. I thought that would happen, but it doesn't. He's able to stay on the outside, probably knows that the puck's kind of, not really in a position to get gone on. And you can see he hesitates on the ulti there. Was afraid he would get stunned, so he waits. It could have set up for a Doom follow-up stun, so it was a reasonable consideration to curse there, but instead he holds it, which is, I would say, the correct decision there. Probably wouldn't have even turned into anything because it's a puck. And then, yeah, he just doesn't even use it in this team fight, at least not right away. He does consider using it on the Nisha here to set up for a follow-up stun, right? Which you can, of course, consider, but you need to keep in mind Lincolns, and the way you deal with Lincolns in the late game is, of course, by using Splinter Blast beforehand. So, yeah, it just slows up Ice Ice Ice. Really nice job here. Pops a late BKB to make sure that the Hawk doesn't dive on him, make sure puck can't go on him. Does a wild amount of damage just to the Beastmaster alone with his Q. You can see nearly solo killing Ice Ice Ice. Obviously, it's very hard to solo kill heroes with Wyvern because the Q does less damage the less health they have. That's how it works. And yeah, that's going to be about the end of today's video as they end up winning this game off this team fight. No buyback on the puck or CK. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.